Alright, welcome back everybody to Cole's Farm. It's September 3rd. This is week 22's inspection. It's about 10:45 in the morning. The last inspection took place 16 days ago on August 18th, and that was week 20's inspection. At that time, I installed the brand new beetle jails into the hive, 2 per brood box, so we got 4 in there. I used a local blackberry and honey from the hive in the trap portion, so today will be the first time I am looking at the hive and the beetle jail, so I'm curious to see how many beetles these traps captured. Let's see, it's 75 degrees and feels like 75, which is very pleasant. The humidity is about 82%, and the WeatherBug app has the pollen at 8.2, which is medium to high. The predominant sources are ragweed, grass, and chenopods, and you can't really tell right here, but we have an abundance of goldenrod that is started to peak in its bloom cycle. It has a very long cycle. The States Association has a website for the different parts of North Carolina, so with us being coastal, they list the goldenrods starting to bloom August 1st. Obviously we're about 4 weeks late, which has been very typical of this year. So it's starting to bloom now, and it blooms all the way through November. So that's all I have for now. We'll pop the top, get in the hive, and see how things are looking. Alright, frame number 1 that faces the outside of the hive, and as you can see, not one small hive beetle. So far, so good. bees are extremely calm this morning, so hopefully this is the case for the next 30 minutes or so. Inside of frame number 3, it actually has some nice weight to it. Some stored pollen, nice drawn comb. I haven't fed them in about, well, since the last hive inspection, about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Some nice stored nectar. They are extremely calm. This is rather pleasant. Frame number 4, the inside. Frame that's, or the side of the frame that faces the outside of the hive. Probably hard to tell, so I'm not going to try and zoom in, but there's a bee hatching right in the middle, which is always kind of cool to watch. Got a little meeting of the minds here, and the right third to the left in the middle. A few drones. I never anticipate on spotting the queen anymore. She's very elusive. We got a few other bees hatching right there. Maybe you can see it. Chewing through the capped brood. Inside of frame 6 has some queen cups going on right there. I don't see anything developing in there. They're just preparing, but like usual, I'm gonna squish them down just to prevent any kind of swarm or supersedral. the very bottom portion of frame 7. Clearly you can spot some eggs. It looks like some are standing straight up, so queen's definitely still here. She's been laying eggs within the last 24 hours, so that's a good sign. And over here we got bees hatching like crazy, which is kind of cool to see. This whole little cluster right here, it's got a whole bunch popping out. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them hatching at once. Some contents in this beetle jail, but it just looks like bee parts, not any small hive beetles that I can tell. Or actually, you know what that is? Ants. Small ants. So I may need to reapply some of the grease to the boards here. That creates a ant barrier, because if ants are getting in the hive, obviously the ant barrier is not really working. inside of frame 5. Nice cap brood. Nice brood pattern. Side that faces the exterior of the hive. A lot of spun larvae. Probably going to get capped in the next day or two. Saw a few bees with some nice bright white pollen, which I can assume that's probably from the goldenrod or this other plant that I'm not sure what it is, but it has nice bright white pollen on. Exterior, well, the side that faces the right side, so now it's the interior of frame 6. Nice solid brood pattern. Now the side that faces the exterior, nice solid brood pattern as well. And there's a bee with some nice white pollen, like I was mentioning earlier. So they're doing good. I'd say this is a healthy hive. And frame number 10, no small hive beetles. So I'd say this is a pretty healthy hive. If any small hive beetles have tried to make their way in here, I'd say it's safe to say the bees are doing their thing and chasing them off. Alright, well, that does it for week 22's inspection. Overall, things went quite well. The timer has me at 37 minutes, but I think I've wasted about 5 minutes or so messing with the smoker and everything. Not that speed is, that important, but I'd say, to inspect the hive in about 30 minutes, I'm definitely a lot more comfortable with things as they are, especially with having this many bees. A lot of good frames of capped brood, stored nectar, stored pollen. There's a few questionable cells, little batches of what could be potentially queen cups, but like I said earlier, it's been 16 days since the last hive inspection. A queen can develop and hatch within 16 days, so in my opinion, if the hive is just slowly developing queen cups, it's always, in preparation that the queen's not producing as well, or if they get crowded and they want to swarm, they have a cup already developed to where they can, an egg can be laid, royal jelly, so on and so forth until they have a new queen. Regardless, whenever I see something that looks questionable, I just kind of smush it down, kind of that maintenance to prevent swarming and superseding. Overall, things look quite well. There were quite a few bees hatching, saw some bees bringing in some nice pollen. The concern I have now that I keep looking at is there is a cluster of bees on the ground, on the wood that I have underneath the hive. And the reason I put the wood there is basically so I can, whenever I come out, I can see if larvae is being dragged out or if bees are being dragged out. But that has to do with timing. If you come out and happen to see it, that's great. But I'm sure things are happening quite often when I don't come out here. Ants and rodents probably take the evidence away. So it's just one of those things that trial and error, see if it actually has any sort of benefit or not. But yeah, week 22, September 3rd, Coles Farm. Things are looking quite well. I'm not going to put supers on to give the hive some space so I can feed them with the mason jars or any other sort of method now that we're in the fall bloom. So I'm going to see what they can come up with on their own. Of course, check back every 10 to 14 days now that I'm back in town, and we'll see what I need to do as far as the next few weeks go and months go in preparation for winter. So thanks for watching. Tune back in about 10 to 14 days. We'll have week 23 or 24's hive inspection posted. Thanks again. Bye.